Hi, my name is Jesse at Trash Panda, and I'm kind of obsessed with unique discs that have an interesting story. So this is the Gateway Ninja, which was determined to be PDGA illegal because apparently it helps you throw too far. So in this video, I want to tell the controversial story behind this disc and test out for myself whether or not it actually helps me throw farther. Before we get too far into the video, I wanted to quickly let you know that a massive restock just hit our site, meaning the inner core in our 100% recycled premium plastic is back, along with yellow and white dunes. On top of that, you may know we have a product called Minis Made from Trash, but that product is officially changing as of today to Minis Made from Recycled discs. And since this restock just so happens to coincide with the only tournament out of the year that's named after our favorite thing, planet Earth, we're doing something extra special called Worlds for the World, where $1 from every single product, both direct to consumer and wholesale, will go to help clean our oceans through Ocean Conservancy. So from right now until the last putt drops on Sunday, you can stock up on 100% recycled discs and help out our planet even more. All right, let's get back into the video. So let's dive right in with the first question. What is the Gateway Ninja? The Ninja was released back in 2010, and it initially had this stamp on it that says not intended for PDGA play. And in order to explain why it's not PDGA approved, we have to talk about what it actually is. The Gateway Ninja is a super wide rim driver designed to be the farthest flying disc ever made. It has a relatively consistent dome as well as this extremely wide rim, meaning that it's both super fast and super glidey. Based simply on the look, I would have to imagine that it's pretty understable, but I know because of the wide rim it carries a lot of weight out here, so we'll just have to see for ourselves. Additionally, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but the edge of the rim actually has a sandblasted finish, which Gateway calls a drag reducing technology. I guess the idea is that the disc will maintain its initial launch velocity through the majority of the flight due to that sandblasting. So all of this honestly sounds great. So why is it PDGA illegal? The primary answer rests in the width of the rim. The width of this rim, and I kid you not, is 0.004 inches over the PDGA limit. So coming in at a 15 speed, Gateway made this disc to, and I quote, push the envelope. And this, to me, cannot be understated. Gateway made this disc knowing that it wouldn't be approved, and they didn't hide that. You might be wondering, if it's 0.004 inches too wide, how does it feel? And this was kind of cool because I got a blind experience with this. Both of the Ninjas that I have were actually sent to us in a box of discs to be recycled. And the first one I looked at said this. Nowhere on the disc did it say Ninja or not PDGA approved or anything. So I simply pulled it out of the box and felt it. And it felt genuinely like the widest disc I've ever held. So we've been talking about these discs for a while, but why controversy? Like, why would a disc like this spark so much controversy? And if you just want some light reading, there's a really interesting thread on the PDGA's website that I'll link in the description that kind of gets into it. But basically, the idea is that people are like, why would you even make it if it's not for PDGA play? And Gateway responded that basically 80% of people don't play in sanctioned events, so they're kind of making it for the average casual individual. But even then with all of that, looking back on it, I don't have any problems with the way that Gateway did it. I mean, they were very clear that it's not intended for PDGA play, but they also wanted to push the envelope. And all of that leads to the question. Does the Ninja actually help me throw farther? That is what we are at this absurdly long field to test out. But before we get started, here is the J Millie game plan. First, I'm gonna throw some putters and mids just to warm up. No one needs to get injured out here. Then I'm gonna throw some distance shots just to establish what my max distance is right now. And then we'll attempt to send the Ninja to the moon. I genuinely have not thrown this disc at all, and I am so curious. Okay, I know I am super biased with the discs that we literally made, but I love throwing them at the beginning of the day because both the inner core and the dune immediately tell me what I'm doing. Did I throw a little more on Anheuser, a little more hyzer, and thus I'm able to calibrate my game before I've even started. All right, sun's coming up, I'm warm. Max distance shots, we're going with the Innova Wraith. The main reason, I just have a bunch. I've been throwing it for like 14 years. Super comfortable with the rim. It's probably gonna give me my max distance. So, let's see. Jesse. I am so excited about this and I'm so curious at the same time. Current baseline for my max distance was 475, which I'm super happy with. And these things look pretty understable. I'm gonna give it a little bit of hyzer for the first one, probably a decent amount of hyzer, and we'll see what happens. Wow, I am so curious what this is gonna do. Is it gonna throw or is it gonna hold stability? Man, first ever throw, this rim feels massive. Oh, it's super understable, and I threw it straight into the ground, but it actually didn't burn the whole way. So if I give it height, let's do a second one. I'm actually feeling pretty hopeful about this. Oh yeah. Oh man. Wow. Okay, so I would say that's not my best throw, but it looks like it went pretty far. And overall, it has way more stability than expected. Like it gets a lot of turn, but it also gets a lot of fade. Like if neg 3 or neg 4 with also 3 and 4 was a thing. It just goes and then it goes. So if I can dial it, man, I'm really interested to see how far I can get it to go. All right, I don't know if you can hear me, but the first one went 257, which clearly needs redemption. And I really hope you can hear me right now because I don't even know if you can see me. Come on, 4K. But we're sitting at 461. Okay, those first two made me very hopeful. On the second one, I didn't feel like I was giving it everything I had because I was worried about the stability, to be honest. But at the same time, it still went super far. So we're gonna go again. I know how the discs fly now and see what we can do. I think I wanna go height with a little less hyzer. Oh, and not even enough. I cannot seem to throw that one with any height whatsoever. It's still going far. Oh. All right, let's go forehand. Forehand's interesting because it's such a wide rim. I'd almost want to switch my grip to something like this, but I'm gonna try just my normal grip because that's gonna give us the most realistic results. Well, give it height. I mean, it goes. It was uncomfortable, but it goes. That was 450 with a forehand, which I would say my forehand maxes out at like 375, maybe 400. It was uncomfortable, I didn't love it, and it's a disc that weighs 184 grams and went 450 feet. That's insane. All right, I have some thoughts, and then I have a question. The first thought is that if you can get your hands on one of these, you should definitely try it. Like throwing them with friends, just trying them out. It was very interesting to say the least. I had a blast. So we will be giving one of these away on our Patreon. Links for that are in the description. And that takes me to also the fact that the gyroscopic stability on this thing was real. Like, it carries so much weight in the rim that somehow it allows it to be super understable and super overstable at the same time. Like, seriously, it had the turn of a Mamba, but the fade of like a Halo destroyer. So yes, it was a little more finicky, and I'm sure I could achieve that desired extra distance with something like a 12 to 14 speed driver, or even by playing with the weight, maybe a lighter weight Wraith. But according to Gateway, the original intent with the Ninja was never about comparison to other discs, but rather to the PDGA technical standards as a whole. All of which leads us right back to where we began with this insane obsession for crazy discs, and one in particular that actually does help you throw farther. And after throwing it myself and genuinely just thinking about this disc for the last couple of weeks, I can't help but just ask one question. Who's gonna be the next one to push the envelope?
Some people say that they get into making discs so they don't have to buy a disc again, but the truth, the content creators out there know, you actually just get into it so you don't have to go get a disc every time you throw it and come back to get the shot you need. It's a never-ending cycle.